So today I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to read more, and my first tip is to carry your book everywhere you go. And this is a very common tip, but it's very effective because you're going to be in situations where you have to wait. You can just take out your book wherever and sit down and read and just tune out from the world. My second tip is to have a set time to read and decide when you're going to read during the day. You can either use a diary or you can even use Google Calendar to decide when you're going to read. If you have decided when you're going to read, it is more likely that you will read instead of leaving it as optional. My third tip is to include reading in your morning or night routine. I love to have some coffee and read a book for a while in the morning. Just 15 minutes of reading in the morning and at night can lead to 30 minutes of reading in a day. And reading before bed can also help you sleep better. My fourth tip is to make reading fun, and you can do this by making some hot chocolate for yourself and reading while having it, or you can even have some chocolate or some other snacks while reading. And you can also light up some scented candles to set up the mood, and you can get some bookish candles for yourself if you want them. Candles can be really relaxing and calm you while reading. And my favorite thing is also to turn on an ASMR room when I'm reading because they just set the mood right. My fifth tip is to set a daily, weekly, or monthly goal to read. So decide how many pages you want to read in a day and put it somewhere where you can see it. You can also write a post-it note and stick it in your book instead, up to the page you want to read, so that you can feel accomplished once you're done reading till there. And you can also use a reading app like Goodreads to track your reading and see how many books you're reading in a year. You can even set goals of how many books you want to read in a year and see what goals your friends are setting. The next tip is to read more than one book at a time. And this is optional, but if you're a mood reader, this can really help you. So you can read fiction if you feel like it, and you can try and read some non-fiction if you're in the mood for something to motivate you and inspire you. My seventh tip is to explore different genres. Try and read different books and see what sparks your interest and what you like reading the most. The more books you read, the more you would know what you really love to read, because there is something for everyone. My eighth tip is to stop reading books you don't like, and this might seem counterintuitive, but if you force yourself to read, you might just get into a reading slump. So if you don't feel like reading something, you can make a did not finish shelf on Goodreads and you can transfer the book there and you can read it whenever you want to later on. The next tip is to read in different formats. You can try to read audiobooks if you're not in the mood to read physically, and you can do some work while you're listening to them. Or you can even use an e-reader if you don't have the space to carry around different books, and you can have all of your books in one place. My 10th tip is to create a reading nook for reading. Have a special place where you love to sit and read and where no one would disturb you. And this can be your special place where you can just get lost into your book. I love it when I'm reading and I'm so lost in the book that I forget that I even exist. And that is where you want to be. So make sure you don't have any distractions. And this could be even your room if you don't have any other special place. But just make sure you're sitting so that you don't fall asleep. My 11th tip is to watch some BookTube. BookTube is a YouTube community where they just talk about books and it's quite amazing. My personal favorite is to watch a 24-hour readathon where the YouTuber reads for 24 hours and it might sound crazy but it's so much fun and it really motivates me to read more. My 12th and final tip is to use a timer. I like to use an app like Forest to read because it helps me to focus and it also lets me know when my time is up so that I don't sleep too late and I can wake up early the next day. And this can also help you if you don't have enough time but you want to make sure that you only read for the set amount of time. I hope you find these tips helpful and leave down any tips you have for other readers so that you can help one another. And also remember that reading is not a race. It's not about how many books you read, but how many books actually make an impact on you. I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!